My name is Becky Monroe, and I'm with Central Christian Church, and I had the opportunity to share about the joy I get from giving. In the summers, I disappear for a week. I go to North Dakota. My husband thinks I'm a little crazy to go to North Dakota in the middle of August, but that's where my opportunity just shines. I'm a vision teacher, a retired one. But this year when I went, I was the O&M instructor, and that means I'm the cane instructor for newly blinded people. That in itself is a reward that I love to share. But this year I also got to go and I'm passing on all my educational books. And a young orientation and mobility specialist named Paul was so delighted. He said, I've lost one of these books, and now I have it again. We're going to put it in a library and share that Becky Monroe gave these things. And then there was also this new young Braille instructor, and I was able to share a ton of books about Braille, ways I taught it, cheat sheets, sheets that you could test the kids on. It was just fun to pass all of that on. And this is at a camp for the newly blinded in North Dakota. It's called Camp Grassic, and it's run by the Elk Club. But also when I'm there, I can't teach mobility because all of the students or young adults have to take classes. So I'm busy until they're free. So one of the ways I was busy was I was assisting with the bread baking class. Just what you need when you're trying to lose weight. But anyway, I was the assistant and I was washing dishes, but I was also learning a lot. And every recipe that they made made 2 loaves, with the idea being when you go home from this class, you would make your bread or your pretzels or cinnamon rolls, but you would always have twice as many as you need. So the idea is that you go home and share. Now, who is not going to say, yes, I could use a fresh loaf of baked bread or a fresh load of cinnamon rolls? So that was one of the ways that I was truly enlightened and learned that even though I go to camp to give my educational expertise, I always learn something at the camp. So my joy is that when you give, you always get something back. And it's just a good way to feel when you give. And I think giving is a very important part of life. And I'm very proud of our Central Christian Church for the programs that they have that allow us to give.
Hi everybody, I'd like to speak to you this morning about the power of giving. When I was asked by Elaine to record this message, at first I had no idea. Well, and then I had too many ideas, so I tried to think what was close to me. Well, my kids, of course, are always the closest to me. But I'd just gotten off of work. This was about 8 o'clock last night, 8:30, and I was facilitating a therapy group. So, nothing much. Or wait, was it? Why, actually, yes, it was just right for this talk. Sometimes we can see things more clearly from another approach, from an unfamiliar angle. So, I began to think about prison inmates that I work with and power. So, how do you get power when you've broken social rules and society has subsequently isolated you in prison? For male inmates, this means being imprisoned with mostly other young men in their physical prime. So, what are the ways you can express your dominance and get your alpha male power? Well, one is you can click up with the gang, so you have backup for protection and identity. You can have sexual dominance, you can have physical dominance, mental dominance. You can brag the most, tell the biggest war stories about your criminal lifestyle and all your fights, and all the drugs you sold and did, and who can swear the most and have the most tattoos and be the most feared on the yard and have the most weapons. These are forms of power which seek to dominate, and are only as good as when the dominance is still in your favor. But in the work I do among inmates, I am also privileged to see a different form of power. This is the power of generosity and the power of giving. I see it in the therapy groups when people are laughing and joking and spending some fun and being entertaining with each other. I also see it in the serious and thoughtful feedback when people tell their life stories. I see the true power people can possess when they are asked to be at their best. I see this true power of giving when people are asked to help another human being with their troubles. I experience the power of giving when I see people reach out and take the time to understand and give guidance and feedback that is helpful from the heart and smart. This is true power, when positive energy comes together to help another, which in turn helps the giver. So my message on the power of giving is this: true power enhances the giver as well as the receiver. The power of giving makes us better, stronger, more connected, more spiritual, happier, and better able to cope and thrive. Well, we can give through money, yes, that's good, but we can also give through our attention, our time, our energy, and our understanding. All of you listening to this have already done this, and I know you to be kind, caring, and giving people, and I thank you for all you do. So let's continue with our service. I will end with a quote from one of my clients in a therapy group that I actually had just a few hours ago. And it goes like this, and I think you'll like it as much as I do. We love people through our service, so we need to do good with what we have, and the Lord will enlarge our souls. Thank you, and God bless.
Hi, I'd sure like to thank Central Christian Church for all of the support that you have been to Family Promise over the last year. We're really grateful that you provide a home base for Family Promise of Great Falls. We are able to rent space from you so that we have a comfortable office as well as space for families to launder their clothes, to take showers, and to look for jobs and homes. They also have space to recreate on the off hours. So we're really grateful for that. But we're also grateful for the financial assistance you've given us. And mostly, we're grateful for your being a host congregation, providing food, providing volunteer hours, and many, many prayers so that our program is a success. And I think you need to know just what your support has done. Since we opened our doors on January 11th, we have served 25 children. We have had 11 families, and 8 of those families are now living in their own homes, thanks to the support that you and congregations like you have provided for us. We've had some pretty challenging families, and probably our most challenging family we just found a home for. A mom with her 4 boys, thanks to people like you who have given us lots of support, are now in their own 4-bedroom home. And we think Mom just found a full-time job to replace her part-time job so that she'll be able to support her kids and work an 8 to 5 job instead of weekends. So we owe that thanks to lots and lots of volunteers. And we just added those up today, and we have trained, rather oriented, over 450 volunteers since the 1st of January. Now you may think that that maybe eliminates you as a volunteer if you haven't done that already, but we're still looking for volunteers. There's always room for more, and people of all ages and abilities can volunteer for us. We offer orientation on the first Tuesday evening of every month at 6 o'clock here at the church, and on the 3rd Saturday of every month at 10 o'clock in the morning, also here at the church. So give us a call, and we'd be glad to have you as part of us.